Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? It is Monday, Labor Day. You've probably been on a 3-day weekend. You don't have to go to work today or school or whatever you have to do because you guys are responsible adults and you take care of your things that you need to take care of. Okay? I take care of the things I need to take care of. Now, some people might not think so. I'm a responsible adult. Okay, I know that it looks like I'm not. That's because I'm an internet person. You don't understand me at all. You don't know me. You don't know me at all. For all you know, I'm a senator. Okay, and that's how we do things over here. In this country. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm just getting up a couple hours ago and I was playing some shogi on Shogi 24. Okay, Shogi Dojo. Okay, I had to email the webmaster personally and ask him if I could please join. And then he gave me an ad code because if you want to join without contacting the webmaster, you have to live in Japan. So because I'm in North America, I had to actually email the webmaster and say, "Hello, nice to meet you. I would really like to play shogi. Can I please have an account?" And then he said, "Yes, use this web link. And then let me know as soon as you do, so I can give you a password." And then I did, and then he gave me a username and password that I set. He set the password, I set the username. It's my name, of course, because I use my name everywhere on the internet, which is apparently weird, but I don't think it's weird. I mean, people are on Wikipedia with their full name. I mean, if my goal is to be like a famous person, then why not just rip that band-aid off? Okay, we live in a world where people can see you if you walk outside, and you have like a name. Okay. So we don't live in like 1991 anymore, where if you're on the internet, it was the Wild West. Okay. People should get their shit together. Get your shit together. Okay, because otherwise, it's really terrible. I mean, if you really think about it, Twitch and YouTube allows creators as young as 13. So if a 13-year-old can use the internet for being a content creator, then it should probably be safe. Because I'm a lot smarter than a 13-year-old, I think. I mean, I don't want to put that to the test. Oh my goodness. I don't even know what's going on anymore. I'm gonna be real. I have absolutely no idea what's going on anymore. I'm just kind of doing my thing. I'm kind of irrelevant as a content creator right now. Okay. I know it sounds like copium, but just you wait. Okay. I know it sounds like copium. It even feels like copium sometimes. You know? Don't worry, we're gonna get started soon. My camera stopped? Yes, it did. Okay, don't worry, we're gonna get started soon. Okay, there we go. I had to relog in to restream chat. You know what? Sometimes I feel like somebody's watching me. Actually, no, sometimes I don't, because I barely have anybody in my chat. No, sometimes I feel like, you know, I try to, like, not compare myself to others. You know, but and also, like, a lot of my ideas of what other people's lives are like are probably not even as, like, close to what I think they are. Like I feel like I should be having more friends, or that I should be like spending more time trying to do things, but it's just I'm already spending a ton of time doing what I can, and nobody can do anything more than what they can. So I'm in a very specific situation in my life that nobody else has. And I'm doing the best I fucking can, and I always feel like I could be doing more. But I really can't. Like, there's only so many things that are a part of my reality that I can deal with. And it's so frustrating, especially, like, obviously other people have no idea what they're talking about. There's a very select few people that I listen to. And they're people that I've enlisted who are professionals. Okay, and those professionals think I'm doing great. So if the professionals I'm working with that I specifically enlisted to help me so that I don't fall into the trap of being a dumbass, you know, people whose job it is to help people and prevent homelessness, those people believe in me, and those people think I'm doing great, then why should I worry? But of course, I'm still worrying, because I want more out of life than most people do, and I think that's kind of where the friction is because I know that I can't settle for like a mediocre life. But the irony though is that by being so fixated on that, like I probably will have like a much more difficult time achieving that. And like what I need to do is to just kind of stay the course and trust my hard work to pay off, which it is. It already has, actually. I already have proof of concept that my hard work pays off. Like I've already achieved so much, you know? And obviously anybody who's like a viewer of my stream has no idea. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff goes on behind the scenes. Not really too much, but it's just like there's a whole bunch of stuff that's like not a part of my stream and stuff about my life. And I know that I use my stream kind of like to like bring my life into like a kind of more public space to like talk about. And then I share a lot. I know that. But there's a lot of things that are not a part of this. That are, you know, a lot of the times when I have like some friction, it's actually completely unrelated to anything I do on the internet. I kind of just bring it all here, which I don't know if that's ideal, but it's definitely what is happening. Is I bring my stuff here. I don't bring here to my stuff, if that makes any sense. I know some people might assume things about me because they see other people who are on the internet grinding, trying to be content creators. It's like, that's not what's happening here. I have to make that very clear. I am not delusional. I am not a delusional person who just is trying to make streaming into a career. That is not what's happening. If that's what you think is happening, I want you to get that out of your mind. I'm a different kind of content creator, but even that is kind of like ad hoc to an overall picture of who I am that is multifaceted, but also very highly focused in a very few key areas. So I want anybody watching who might think that they understand what's going on. You have no fucking idea what's going on. You have no idea. Like, this isn't all that exists. I know that it seems that way because I'm online a lot. I get that. I know it might seem that way, but that's not what's going on. Like, I'm not one of those people that's like, all right, guys, let's grow the community. Let's make a big streaming career. That's fucking dumb. You're dumb if you think that's gonna happen. Not the community part. That part can happen. You can build a community online. That's one thing you can do. But streaming is like ad hoc to that. Like, I like the word ad hoc. That's like our word for the day. You can definitely build a community like through Discord and stuff like that. And that's usually what streaming is for. That's usually what Twitch is for, is to spend time with your community. But if you're trying to build a community, don't fool yourself into thinking that grinding is going to make it better. And that you're going to make money off of it. Go make money on Pornhub. Hey Ronak, how you doing? We're just kind of gathering some thoughts. I like to make sure... Oh, you like the dancing dinosaur too? Are you a friend of Twice Slicer? One of my viewers really likes that emo. I'm basically kind of rambling on in the morning. I'm having some coffee. I pretty much just I kind of like to set things in my head by saying them and like being very clear about things. But I also kind of like, I know that there's a few people that watch my at least the beginning parts of my VODs, like on YouTube and stuff like that. I know that, so I kind of have to set some things straight for people, that if people are watching and they think that I'm one thing, but I'm going to tell you that I'm not that thing that you think I am. Like, what is she talking about? I'm talking about when people think that grinding on Twitch is some kind of career path, and they see me doing it, and they probably think that I'm one of those people. But anybody who's been here longer than a few streams, or even longer than a few minutes, or I don't know, maybe a few streams, I have like a big overarching life plan, and I kind of just bring it here, and I kind of use it to like, this is part of my workshopping. Like that's kind of how I do my life, is I kind of bring stuff here to my stream. It's not the other way around. I'm not bringing my stream to other things. I'm bringing other things to my stream. I think that's the best way. I think that's the best way to go about streaming. Yeah, I like put my VODs on YouTube. Yeah, so like anybody who's like watching like needs to know this about me so that you kind of have a little bit more faith in me, I think. Like I have no idea. I don't know if anybody watches. I know a few people do. I don't know who they are, but they know who I am. And actually no, they don't. You know nothing about me. I'm just a floating head on the internet, okay? Like I sometimes forget that. Like literally people don't know a thing about me. Especially when they first see me. And it's like I have this like narrative in my head of who I am and I bring it with me everywhere. I don't think this is unique to me. I think everybody kind of falls into this. Is like I have this, and I think there's no other way to function, obviously. But I feel like what happens is that you have this overall narrative of who you are and you bring it everywhere with you and you kind of just present it. And it's so easy to forget that most people have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah, I know all about that. Ronak. I know all about that. Okay, I'm not a noob. Okay, I know what I'm doing. I've been streaming for 4 years. I know what I'm doing. Okay. Actually, no, nobody knows what they're doing. That's the key. Even XQC has no idea what he's doing. All those like 10-year plus streamers who've been streaming for like 10 years or whatever, who are like at the top of the categories, they have no idea what they're doing. When they started streaming, they were just like me. And it was even worse because they didn't even have like a clear path towards being a streamer. They just started streaming because they were gamers. And they actually were like, if they didn't become as successful as they did, they would have quit a long time ago, or they would just be total, you have to be a complete degen to do what they did. There was no like real like career path for them. Nowadays, there's a bunch of frameworks in place that it's not as insane for people who have like a very specific skill set, and then a lot of luck. But like for those people that are like at the very top of Twitch and stuff, those people had no fucking idea what they were doing, and then they got successful, and now they're just scrambling around trying not to get canceled. Because they are scared to death that if they do anything wrong, they will lose everything. And they've done a few things wrong and they kind of figured out you can't be canceled. This goes beyond streaming. Like, this is just an internet thing. And in fact, I think it's a human thing. I really don't think you can be canceled. You could always like write a book and somebody's gonna buy it. Like, this has been like this since the dawn of time, and it's just we don't really we don't realize that this is history repeating itself because we weren't alive 1,000 years ago. So we're figuring it out for the first time in our lives because there's never been a situation in our lives like this before, but we automatically assume it's unique. But it's not. Human beings have been like, we're basically, I mean, who do you think, like people like the original Martin Luther and then Martin Luther King Jr., like people like Martin Luther, he was like the first shit poster. Really? Like he was the first like Reddit post. Like he literally wrote a freaking angry letter and nailed it to the door of a church. Like that was the world, like not the world's first. That was like probably one of the earliest not even earliest, but like that's an early example of like a shit poster. It does affect their sponsor. I mean, obviously the church excommunicated him or something like that, or executed him. I don't know what they did. I mean, it did affect his sponsor when he did that, right? But here's the thing. You get new sponsors. Okay, there have been people in history who were like absolute terrible people. But there's always people who like still stick by them. Okay, you don't I mean, obviously you have to like kind of ask yourself, like, if you want to save your soul or whatever, like, you know, like, what are you willing to do? Like, there's certain things I will never do. There's lines I will never cross, okay? And that's a good thing. But just knowing that, like, even if I cross those lines that I would never cross, there's still an audience for me. Now, at this point, I feel like there's no audience at all for me. But that's because at this point, I'm a nobody. Okay, you change that one little 0 to a 1. Which is, believe me, it will happen. That 0 will become a 1. Oh, god damn it will. Trust me, I have the analytics to prove it. Now, you don't have to take my word for it. But, like, trust me, I got a huge plan ahead of me. It's a lot of work ahead of me, by the way. But at least there's work ahead of me. Do you get it? Like, it's a lot of work, but at least there is work. Does that make any sense? Like, a lot of people don't even have that option. Now, I have, like, a whole bunch of personal medical issues I'm taking care of right now that, like, I do talk about on stream, sometimes a lot, sometimes too much. But honestly, I can't really do anything as far as internet stuff is concerned. Except for, like, this. Like, this is pretty much all I can do, is just, like, show up to stream and chat with people. Chat with you, Ronak. Roadhouse. Like, I mean, this is fun. Don't get me wrong. Like, this is what life's all about. Everybody should have somebody to wake up to and talk to. Obviously, I wish there was people in my real life I could wake up and talk to. But I can't really, like, 100% control that. And honestly, there's always, like, there's something special about this kind of relationship. It's not a relationship. But, like, there's something special about this kind of interaction, right? That this is something that like, even if I had, like, somebody in my personal life, like, which I do. I have people in my personal life. But, like, this is something, like, different. Like, this is, like, more closer to, like, my internal dialogue. But I'm doing it publicly. So it's, like, a very special sort of interaction where it's, like, I'm talking to a pixel on my screen. And I'm looking at a webcam of myself. And I'm, like, talking with it. Like, that's a very special kind of interaction that doesn't exist anywhere else in life. And I think it can be really useful. Because when you have something that doesn't exist anywhere else, that gives you kind of an extra thing in life that most people don't have. So, like, I've created this thing for myself that most people don't have. And whether or not I can make use of it is up to me. And also, there's a lot of other factors. But I don't want to give up on myself, and I don't want to give up on the things I've built. There's that, but I don't think it's hopeless. It seems hopeless. But that's because, like, when you only look in the moment, if you're taking a dump and you think that only thing that exists is in the moment, that's terrifying. Because you're not going to be taking a dump forever. Okay, that's temporary. Nice, the Sunday smoke friend. Well, you don't have to have the cigarettes in order to have the friend. But if cigarettes didn't exist, you wouldn't have the friend. However, I do think that a lot of things are a mix of random chance and also, I don't know about fate, but I do think that, like, certain things, like, are kind of inevitable, just like maybe you wouldn't have met that friend at that time. Maybe you would have met that friend in a different context, and maybe the context would have decided something different. For example, there's people in your life that if you met them under like different circumstances, you might actually hate that person. But because you met them in a context where it was a very friendly situation, you see that person differently. And I feel like, honestly, we shouldn't look at people based on how our experience with them is. Because anybody can be in a different place mentally. But it's the person as a whole that matters. And if you show up to a relationship like with the expectation that no matter what the person does, you still care about that person. And if those are people that do things that you trust, then maybe that person might break your trust. But that's a different sort of thing. That's trust. And I feel like if your trust is based on your opinion of somebody, they're going to break that trust. But if your trust is based on if that person as a whole is someone that you can like, that behaves in a way that aligns with you, even if sometimes those people do things that are a mistake. You're both incels? Why are you a self-identified incel? That means you're not an incel. Do you understand? An incel doesn't know they're an incel. There's hope for you yet, Ronak. I mean, I don't know what you think about things, but honestly, you have to start with caring about yourself enough. Because I know a lot of people think that I mean, you're talking to a woman right here, okay? So you're capable of talking to women, okay? Maybe you want to talk to men instead. And that's fine. Not everything has to be like a transaction. Not everything has to be romantic. You can have friends. And that's actually, it sounds like if people who say that they're incels, it sounds like they want to care about themselves. And if you need to take care of yourself, then that's what you need to be focusing on. Because if you see yourself as like, oh, I'm red-pilled or whatever, like if you see yourself that way, I invite you to take like a step back and like kind of ask yourself, like, why do I have these thoughts? And like if you start attaching thoughts to like certain outcomes, like if you think that like, oh, women are just temptresses, or they're just like trying to like, seduce me and take away all my autonomy and all that, like if you think that, like that's you that's saying that. Like she did nothing wrong. She's just existing in her own self, which she might have problems of her own. Like believe me, I got some issues. But those are my issues and it has nothing to do with you. And no woman out there, no man out there actually has anything to do with you. Okay, you invite people into your life. The people that you talk to, the people that you spend your time around, those are people you invited in. So when you start like thinking about people that way, you start taking away their role that you think they have in your life, and you start taking personal responsibility. That, hey, there's a reason why that woman doesn't want to text me back. There's a reason why that friend was an asshole to me. There's a reason. Now you might not agree with that reason, and also that reason might not matter. But like there is a reason, right? You have to decide who you want to be every single day. Do you want to be somebody who just studies, eats, smokes, and sleeps? If the answer is yes, then there's no problem with that. But I think when you say incel, I don't think you mean what you think you mean. You might, but like when people say incel, they mean people that like hate women. because they think that like women are gonna like distract you or whatever. Like that's not the case. That was you. You need to take responsibility. These Andrew Tates of the world, first of all, they're like actual like child like I mean, yeah, I guess like in his case, like they're like sex traffickers. They're like rapists. Okay, like yeah, I mean, you don't need, maybe that's not what you need in your life right now, and that's fine. It sounds like you're not an incel. I'm gonna say right now, I'm not getting incel vibes off of you. I'm just getting somebody who is reserved and taking care of himself, taking care of his needs. Like you're studying, so you're going to school, right? So it would be kind of messed up for you to start dating. You know, but I would say like, you know, just don't lock yourself into a certain way of thinking where you think that you have to like avoid women. Yeah, and having a routine is actually kind of useful. Now, if I do highly recommend to try to cut smoking out of there, because smoking, I don't know how old you are, but if you're in your young 20s, it might not seem this way, but if you keep smoking, it's gonna get worse. I'm gonna tell you that right now. If you keep smoking, especially tobacco, but also weed, if you keep smoking, especially on a daily basis, that shit's gonna catch up to you, especially like probably in your 30s. But that's a habit that'll save money. Yeah, I don't know if English is your first language or not. I don't think you know what incel means. I think what you're talking about is a shut-in, or you're like introverted. I don't think incel is the right word. Like an incel is a person who like hates women. Yeah, so I mean like that's what matters, Ronak, that you're trying. That's what matters. You might not be perfect, but as long as you have that roadmap, because at least you have a map, right? If you didn't have a map, you'd be screwed. You'd have no idea. The fact that you're saying, oh, I wish I could quit smoking, it's such a bad habit. You already have that in your head, what you want. And so it's a matter of trying to actually execute it. That's a different problem than what a lot of people have. The fact that you're talking to me about this stuff. I know it sounds really, really hopeless, but the fact that you're even thinking about it, you have no idea how many people are out there that have absolutely no clue what's going on. They have absolutely no idea. They just walk around and act like everybody else is the problem. There are so many people like that. And I know it's hard to realize when you're on the internet, everybody that you talk to is like, even the worst of the content creators out there are still very aware of what they're doing. Like they're out there and they're putting themselves out online and they're talking about things. And even if they're not perfect, they're still like, they know what they need to be doing. Like everybody, like, you know, anybody in chats, anybody like streaming, like all these people that like seem like losers. Maybe there are losers. See, the losers out there are the ones that like go in and hack into people's accounts, harass people, go on like day in, day out, internet stalk people. Like those are losers. Okay, like most people are not those people. There's a lot of them. No, there's a lot of them. But it's so easy to have like confirmation bias or whatever, or selection bias. I don't know what it's called. But like, if you're in not confirmation bias, it's like if you're in an environment where 100% of the people in that environment are the thing, then all you're going to see are people who are doing that. So if you go to a college campus, for example, the only people you're going to see, except for a few random like homeless people. I was homeless for a while, by the way, so don't judge homeless people. But everybody that you meet at a college campus is someone that is going to college. Even the homeless people who don't have classes, they're at least on campus, right? So there's an understanding that the college campus is a place for students. Okay, so everybody you meet there is going to be a student at college. So like if you go to somewhere where 100% of the people are one thing, like the internet, that everybody on the internet, it's so easy to see that as a reality when the vast majority of people are not on the internet. The vast majority of people use the internet for a very few things. Like they use it to like use Facebook to like talk to their friends. Like, I am not a normal person. Do you understand? Like, people who use the internet are not normal. Like, people who are terminally online, we're not normal. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, there could be. But that's up to you to decide. Not me. That's not, you know, I mean, for your own life. I'm doing just fine. Okay? Like, maybe some people looking in, that's kind of what I was talking about. Some people looking in, they might have this, like, projection of what they think I am. But that's not actually who I am. In fact, who I think I am is not even correct. Because really, I'm just a human being who exists at this specific time and space. Who's just, like, alive right now. And literally, I could change who I am anytime I want. Because we have that kind of power as human beings. We have the ability to look at the information available and make a decision. And you could always change the direction you're going. It's like a game of chess. You start out with the same starting pieces, the same starting position. Everybody does. Even though in real life, it's a little different than a chess game. Because you start out in a different board, with different pieces, with different rules. But in the end of the day, all you have are the things that you were given. And nobody has those but you. And there might be a lot of common factors because we live in a society with like a whole bunch of different people. And my camera froze. Okay, we live in the society, okay? With like a whole bunch of different people. And there's like a bunch of common factors. Okay? Like there's a whole bunch of things that we share in common. And we have this collective human environment. Okay? What am I talking about? I have no idea. I think when you say, I think when you say incel, I think what you mean is somebody who's just like a virgin. I don't think that word means what you think it means. So an incel is a member of an online community of young men who consider themselves unable to attract women sexually, typically associated with views that are hostile toward women and men who are sexually active. I'm going to tell you right now, if you find yourself unable to attract somebody, if you find yourself unable to find a partner, it's not because of other people. And in fact, it's not because of you and the way you look. It's because of the things that you invite into your life and what you project to people. Okay? And it's nobody else's job to do that for you. Because people are not targets. People are not objects to acquire. Okay? And this goes beyond just women, but I need so many men out there fail to understand that women are not some prize to be won. Do you understand? It's not an achievable goal. It's not like getting an A on a math test. It's not like playing a video game. Like, I had to actually transition from male to female to figure this out, so I understand why so many men have trouble. Like, I'm not a man. So that's so it's like I never felt like a man does. So I don't know how men actually feel. Because I've never been a man. You understand? Like, incels think that they're unattractive. They think that they need to look a certain way. They feel like they need to act a certain way. And they think that they attach that to their inability to attract a sexual partner. And those are all false. And when you start with a false belief, it's like if you're on a boat, right? And you're sailing across the ocean and you're going and you're trying to get to one place, but you're off by like a single degree, then over time you're going to get completely off track. Okay, so if you think that you're unlikable, you're undateable, you're unattractive, those are all inside of yourself. Okay, and it's not about trying to make yourself into something that you're not. And this goes to women too, because women do this too. Like, I kind of have a unique perspective. I'm a trans person. I'm kind of outside of the norm. I lived, quote unquote, as a male, and I've lived as a female. Like, socially and internally. I was really confused for the longest time because I was told that I was a male. And I was trying so hard to be something I wasn't. And then when I figured stuff out, I had to like have like this internal change of like a whole bunch of things. That sounded like Metal Gear Solid for a second. Like, bring. So like, don't beat yourself up for not getting this. It took me like an insane amount of work to understand this. But women are not some kind of target for you to acquire. Because women are people. Just like men are people. Hey, Mateus. You love my ASMR? I should probably try to do some more ASMR. I don't really know though. So like, I think you're fine, Rokon. I don't think you are what you think you are. But I want to challenge you to like look at yourself as a single entity. That is like, you are a fully autonomous person responsible for your own destiny. And it's not that you have to fill in some kind of like, you don't need some like internet personality. Not even me. But you especially don't need someone like Andrew Tate or whatever telling you that you have to work out all the time, that you have to have a Bugatti, that you have to have all these things or you're not a real man. Because people do that to women too. They say you have to wear makeup everywhere. You have to have your hair a certain way. You have to have a certain breast size. There's all these sorts of different, like you can't be anything over 90 pounds. Like, you have to be thin, etc. Like it's the same thing. And guys do the thing where they have to have 6-pack abs. They have to have super masculine jawline. They have to have like, like all like big giant biceps or whatever. They have to have like a lot of money. I don't. Everybody has like this thing in life. It's not unique to gender. I think it's just a human condition. Is that people are looking for some external answer. But the thing is like, it's only going to work for you if that's who you are. It worked for the people who are using it as a platform to try to make a bunch of money off of it by catering to people's insecurities, because people want a quick fix. People want an answer. But the answer is already there, and you already know it's there. And you don't need somebody to tell you what the answer is. And if you don't know what the answer is, I invite you to try to look inside, because you already know what the answer is. You're just maybe not willing to face it. That's about it. Oh yeah, I do have a hard time. Yeah, I mean, I could do more ASMR mic licking. I don't really want to do that right now though. Honestly, I'm not really doing that kind of content right now. I kind of just am kind of not really doing content at all nowadays. I'm kind of just chilling and just doing my own thing. I have a really important surgery coming up in a few months, and I'm just kind of chilling. Chess 916? No. It's just chess puzzles. Do you want to play chess 960? You can challenge me on Lee Chess. Yeah, I have socials. Oh, I don't think that sends. Did you see that link? I don't think the bots send to Restream. Just to let you know though, I'm not actively making content. I'm not actively making content right now, so it probably won't be for another year. Like I said, I have a very important surgery coming, and I can't make content right now. It's just not possible. It's too emotionally damaging. The surgery needs to happen. Like, there's just too much emotional, psychological damage from making content right now. I can't really do it. So I kind of just, I'm just kind of doing my own thing right now. Not really content. I mean, it might be. Whatever you, I mean, it is what it is. Like, it's just me showing up and just kind of sharing my thoughts and stuff. It's not really content, in my opinion. But it might be. I don't know. Maybe I should stop. Maybe I should stop judging myself so much. I am okay. I mean, I'm getting a bottom surgery, so I'm changing my pee-pee to a VV. It's a very happy surgery. Like, very, very, very happy. I'm on edge because it's like, it hasn't happened yet. It's a lot of stress. Because it's like, I don't know 100% that it's gonna happen until it happens, right? Even though I know it's happening, like it's on the calendar, it should happen. Everything is pointing to it happening. But there's still a psychological thing where it's like, because it hasn't happened yet, it's not real yet. You understand? Like, the same thing happened when I had my facial surgery. Yeah, it's pretty scary, but it needs to happen. And it's gonna be fine. As soon as it happens, that's gonna go away. I'm mostly just scared because of, like, there's always, like I said, until it happens, there's always a chance something could be like, oh, sorry, there was like some technical difficulties and we're gonna have to reschedule it. Like, I hate that kind of stuff because I just want it to happen. But it is pretty scary. It's gonna be fine though. I'm really healthy and the doctor's really skilled. Everything's gonna be fine. He's never had a patient lose the ability to orgasm. So obviously there's always a chance to be the first, but I'm not gonna think that way. I'm probably gonna be fine. And honestly, I couldn't imagine my life moving forward without this. I've been working on this for so long. I've known I've needed it. Like, I'm 35 years old right now. I've known I've needed it since I was 18. And I gave up for a very long time on ever having it. And then now I have hope, because for the past 4 years I've been actively pursuing it, and it's going to happen now. And I've already had success. I've had orchiectomy. I've had facial surgery. 4 years ago I started hormones, and that was the beginning of the path towards it. So it's like the path is I'm already on the path. I'm like right at the finish line too. Like, the finish line is just ahead, and as long as I don't just sit down and give up, I'm going to get to the finish line. Like, all I have to do is just put one foot in front of the other. And if somebody breaks my legs, then I crawl. I can figure out how to make a teleporter if I have to actually teleport myself to the finish line if something went wrong and I was unable to finish. I'm gonna get to that finish line. Like, it's not a matter of if now. And it's already not even a matter of when anymore. Like, it's on the calendar. Like, it's literally just, I see the finish line. It's like right across the next hill or whatever. It's not even a hill. It's like literally just a straight path. And like, if I just see it that way, it's ridiculous how I get so stressed out about it. Like, it's like if you're going to the grocery store. Like, it's not like a huge, like, stressed out thing. Just like, oh, I have to go to the grocery store. Like, I wonder if I'm going to make it. Like, no, I just have to walk to the grocery store. Like, it's right over there. Like, no big D. It is a big deal. I'm not going to lie. It is a big deal. And the surgery itself, obviously, if you think about it too much, obviously anything can be scary. And it's a very serious surgery. It's a very big change. And I have talked to my therapist about this a lot. There is a grieving process. Because I'm changing a body part that I've lived with my whole life. So there is a grieving process. But grief still assumes that you move on. It's not fear. It's not regret. It's just grief. Because you grieve over something that's already happened, something that's already done about. I mean, it's like a loss, but it's also a gain. Yeah, I know a lot of things seem scary. I mean, like getting a hip replacement is scary, but people still get hip replacements. Getting like a appendectomy is scary, but people get appendectomies. If you really think about it too much, every surgery is scary, because it is. That's why people become surgeons. It's so that they can do the scary thing with skill. I cam stuck again? God damn it. Yeah, I have a huge webcam problem. I'm using my old webcam because I was having a problem with my new webcam. I got like a Canon Rebel SL3. And like that one like is really good. I think I just need to get it repaired or something. Like, I don't know. I think it needs to just be cleaned. Or maybe I broke the lens. I don't know. It's really fucking sucks. I have a 3-year warranty. So I just really hope it's not broken. Or maybe I can just get it easily repaired. I don't know. It's really frustrating that I just feel really dumb about it. But if you just think about any kind of surgery, it's going to be scary. The thing is like, that's why surgeons train so hard. That's why you don't do it yourself. Like, that's like, it's a really scary thing, but it needs to happen. You understand? Like, the results are what matters. You know, it's a transitionary process. They do a surgery because it needs to be done. Because in order to change my genitals, I have to have a surgery. And that's what matters. And I know that a lot of people don't understand. It's because it doesn't apply to them. Like, I'm doubting that the vast majority of people need to get this surgery. Only a very rare amount of people need it. And if you need it, you know you need it. If you're scared, if you're like grossed out by it, that's because you're not a trans person who needs it. You might be trans, but even not all trans people need it either. Like, it's only the only people who know they need it are the people who know they need it. Does that make sense? Like, if you had to if you questioned it even for like, you would know pretty quickly if you needed it or not. Like, if you thought about it and you started feeling hope and you started smiling and you started feeling like also like a whole bunch of like frustration over not having it, if the thought of never having it made you have a panic attack, then you probably need it. But if the thought of having it, like, you know, freaked you out or grossed you out, then it's probably not for you. Yeah, hungry people need food, right? But being hungry sucks. Being hungry sucks, dude. Like, it feels so painful. It feels like if you don't have it, that it's never going to be okay. You can't think straight. You can't concentrate on anything long enough to actually solve your situation either. Sometimes people are so hungry, they can't even get themselves to food to solve the hunger. And that's kind of what it's like for people like me. It's like you're so starving that you don't even know how to solve it. But now we have a path forward with where transgender medicine is. There's hope. You know, like, the surgery has been available in different forms. It's way better now. But like, it's been available since the 30s. You know, the very first surgery was done, I think, in 1933. It was a very, very, very different surgery than they have now. They've improved it significantly. But I know most people will never understand it. But that's okay. You're not going to understand it. I think that's like the thing most people don't get. Is that they're trying to understand something that they fundamentally can't understand. Because if they understood it, then they would be going through it too. The only people who get it are people like me. And I barely get it. Because, you know, like, I'm actually living through it. And I barely get it. So I don't expect the vast majority of people, like 99% of people, I don't expect them to get it. And you shouldn't expect yourself to get it either. People say, oh, I don't understand all this transgender stuff. I don't understand all this. That's because you don't. And you won't. You never will. That's the thing. So, you know, just try to understand that there's things that you don't get. But if we say we're happy with our surgeries and stuff, then just take our word for it. Like, there's a reason why there are standards of care that are set up the way they are. It's because there's been a lot of study on it. There's been a lot of people who were like, they had to do a whole bunch of trial and error with how best to approach this. And it's been going on since the 1930s with modern medicine. And, you know, the Nazis burned all the research when they burned books. Those were like a very large amount of the books that the Nazis burned. They also burned stuff that was anything about Jewish people, of course. That was their main problem. But they also targeted trans people and transgender medicine because they saw that as like evil. That's what the Nazis did. And it set back transgender medicine a very huge amount. Oh yeah, I mean, you reminded yourself that you gotta eat. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, Ronak. I hope that you're doing okay. I know that sometimes things seem really scary. But you have a friend. But you don't have to smoke cigarettes with your friend to be friends. And I don't think that you're an incel. I don't think that you're an incel. I think that word is not what you think it means. What the hell am I missing here? What the fuck? Like, okay. Check. How many checks do I have? 1, 2. Oh, okay. Check. Queen takes. Check. King takes. Queen takes queen. Yeah, sometimes I feel like I'm just like going crazy. Like I'm like, what is going on? Like, yikes. I feel really stupid sometimes. I feel like I can't even solve chess problems. Like, chess is hard though. So it's like it's normal. That's the whole point. Like, that's why we do chess. Is because it's hard. But we have to just kind of work through it. That's the whole point. Now which way? So if I go here. If I go here. Oh, knight takes. Those are all the different ways to deal with it. Knight takes, pawn takes. Hey, what's up, Claudius? How you doing? Just playing some chase. Yet again. Usually the way I do my streams, at the very beginning of the streams, I just kind of say what's on my mind and stuff, and I kind of talk about like whatever topic I'm going to talk about. Then I kind of go on autopilot. Honestly, I could be better, but I don't really go on autopilot. I think now's the time where I kind of focus on whatever I'm doing, like whatever game I'm playing or whatever. I'm not a very popular streamer, so there's really not much to talk about. I could talk about the game, which I do sometimes. But honestly, most of the time, this is kind of just the time to like respond to whoever reaches out. Like you, for example, you're reaching out to me right now. So it's like, now's the time where I kind of it's the more interactive portion of the stream. This is kind of where I kind of partition my stream. Like at the very beginning, I kind of like talk about like whatever topic is on my mind that I want to talk about. So like for all the people who were like watching the VOD, that's where like the majority of like the meat of the content is going to be, is right at the beginning and right at the end. Because I might kind of like put like, it's like bookends. Like I put like, I kind of talk at the beginning about something, and then throughout the middle of it, I might revisit it as people come in and ask questions about it or something. And then at the end, I kind of like put like a final sentence, like a conclusion. It's almost like an essay. Oh, and then I get a bishop. Threatening mate. And there's no way to deal with it except for sacrificing the queen. And then I push, and then I'm also threatening mate. Oh no, you could. Oh, I didn't see the knight move. I'm stupid. But I just take with the pawn. And the queen takes, and then checkmate. Or... yeah, there's no way to prevent checkmate. Yeah, the only other way was to do this. Which is still not preventing mate. Well, you can kind of do it. And then maybe just go here. But at that point, you're just sacrificing pieces. It's gonna go down. Yeah, I need to make sure to count all of them. That's the biggest problem. Is I might see a solution, but I miss something. Even if I have the correct solution, I need to make sure that I take. Oh God, my brain's not working. I need to make sure that I count everything. Like, look at all the checks. Oh yeah, it's definitely morning. I just had my coffee. That's one part of why I'm dumb. But that's not an excuse. It's not a reason either. That's just one. That's an excuse, okay? Like, that's blaming the morning. Okay, that's not a valid excuse. There should be no excuses. I need to go through that mental checklist of, like, where are all my checks? Where are my captures? Where are my threats? And I need to make like a little grocery list, or I need to kind of like look through all of them, take account of them, even when I see the answer, because I might be missing something. Oh, it's nighttime, Claudius? Okay, well, obviously I have a check. I have an attack against the rook, but then you take my queen. And there's no compensation. I'm not threatening anything with that. Threatening the queen that the pawn just takes. Attack the queen, but bishop takes. Oh, and then and then that blocks the rook. And so then I can attack the queen. So after the queen can take, and that's it. So yeah, the queen takes. So if I was playing white, the wrong move to do would be to take the bishop. So if I was playing white here, and if black tried to threaten the queen, it would be like kind of an instinctual move to take with the bishop. But after that, it blocks the rook from the queen. So then I can actually fork the queen and the rook. I don't know if that's good compensation though. That's 2 pieces for a rook, so I don't even know if that would be good for white. But I mean for black. But yeah, that would definitely not be an ideal move. I think just taking with the queen would just get a bishop. Oh, obviously I can just, after rook takes, then because it's check, I just take the rook. There you go. So attacking the queen, if the queen moves to like attack the knight or something, then I just win a rook. And if rook takes, queen takes, check, queen takes, then rook takes, check, knight comes in, checkmate. So you have to trade, which loses the rook. Because of the check, it gives tempo, and then I win the rook. I have a reveal check. Rook can block. But then the rook's pinned, and I can pair up with the bishop to check. King moves. Check. Rook comes in. Oh yeah, and the queen comes in. King moves, and then check. Yeah, because otherwise my bishop would be hanging after I take the rook. Which eventually the king's out of the way, so the rook would capture the bishop. So if I just check with the queen instead, then you move the king, I take the knight. You move the king, I get the rook. Oh, so you just move right away. Okay, I didn't consider that. So then I just do that. Yeah, because otherwise I think there's too much activity. And that's putting too much, that's like adding a pin. Like there's no reason for that. And I actually think like maybe if I go here, then that's even worse. I actually don't know. Oops. Yeah, I guess getting the piece and the rook instead of allowing positional disadvantages, I'm guessing. Oh, no. This... Oh, good night, Claudius. Yeah, okay, so that's why. There's just a lot of different... There's a lot of different ideas. If you kind of, if you allow... Yeah, there's just too many ideas if you allow that. I'm kind of tired. just doing some chess puzzles in the morning. I almost didn't want to stream, but I just decided, you know what, let's just kind of do it. And like I had some things to talk about earlier, so it was kind of nice. And I talked to Ronak, and that was kind of nice. Then I talked to Claudius. That was kind of nice. Oh. Okay. I'm gonna go. I think we accomplished something this morning. Not much, honestly, but I did talk about some things, and I think that's kind of what this is all about. It's kind of like a place where I created to like kind of work some stuff out, even if it seems small. It really isn't. It's actually bigger than it. Obviously, everybody around you is gonna have no clue what's going on. And you know, obviously, there's other people in the space that have no idea what's going on. At least with me, they might think they do. Obviously, everybody's gonna have an opinion, and people are gonna like think that they know what's best for you, or they think that, you know, like that what you're doing is wrong or stupid or whatever. And it's like, I see the big picture. I see the overarching narrative of my life. I kind of know what I'm doing. I'm scared, but right now I'm going through a medical process that nobody but me can understand. My doctors are there for me. They understand to the extent that doctors understand, but they aren't me. Only I am me, and only I know what spiritual journey I'm going through. Because there's a medical journey, but there's a spiritual attachment to it that a lot of people don't always talk about. That there's like a very serious thing happening in my life that is extremely changing in the best way possible. And the rest of my life kind of has to take a pause. And I know it seems like I get where I get frustrated and why I get sometimes like angry is because I want more than I can I chew more than I can swallow. Or like I took on more than I want to take on more than I can handle. Like, I bite off more than I can chew. I want to bite more than I can chew, but I can't. I can only chew one thing at a time. And right now I mean, obviously there is no choice. There's technically a choice, obviously, but I couldn't do that anymore. I couldn't do that anymore, like, at all. Because that's what I was trying to do. And it failed miserably. It was way worse than it is now. Like, as hopeless as sometimes things seem to me right now, as far as like my overall like career path goes, I didn't have any prospects at all before I started taking my medical stuff seriously. I had nothing going on. I had a lot of wishful thinking in the past. I had a lot of dreams, but dreams aren't reality. Now I have a reality. And the thing about reality is that it's not always pretty. It's not always bright and shining. Okay, but like it's real though. That's the difference. Is like it might not be perfect. It might not be absolutely, beautiful and shining bright like a golden statue. But it doesn't need to be a golden statue. Like, like a river just is. Hey, Merldar. Like a river is beautiful and it's real, but it sometimes has like, little gross like things growing around it, like slimy things and like frogs like pooping in the water and like, fish like pooping in the water and like, like sometimes there's like some garbage or whatever, but like that gets washed away and like the river just is. It's not some magical, imaginary fairy tale. It's not like this, like, pristine, glistening riverbed that looks like it's out of a fairy tale. Okay, those aren't real. Okay, an actual river has a whole bunch of stuff going on. There's, like, these bugs living in it. There's, like, there's all this stuff. But it's alive. It's not some, like, imaginary thing. And I think that's like what I try to have in my life is like realness, things that are actually going to move forward. And I've been doing that like the past 4 years, whereas like before then I just had like a whole bunch of imaginary things going on, and I got tired of that. Clearly, I got tired of it. I wanted something real. I wanted something that I knew I needed, that I was denying myself because I wanted to live a fantasy. I wanted to live something that I thought was easier. But there is no denying it. I am transgender. And it comes with a lot of baggage. But it's real. And it's not going to change just because I wanted it to. Just because I wanted to pretend it wasn't existing. Just because I wanted I wanted it to be easier. It doesn't make it easier just because you want it to. I couldn't deny myself 4 years ago. I finally just made the step. And it's like as terrible as society treats us, it's still, it just is what it is. And at least I can actually fight now. Like, at least I can make a stand for myself. Whereas before, I was just getting trampled. Like, that's certain defeat. But at least now I have a sword and shield. And it might be a giant army of undead surrounding me. But I have clerics and paladins with me. And I have mages and rogues and warriors. And eventually we can overpower that undead army. And even if we don't, then at least we go down together. And I don't have that chance at all if I didn't pick up that sword and pick up that shield. Because then I would have stayed on the ground and I probably would have become part of the undead army. And that Lich King, like that Lich King would have claimed me. And it looked like that was gonna, what was gonna happen. It looked like that Lich King was gonna revive me and make me a part of his army. But I didn't let that happen. I picked up that sword and I picked up that shield. And I stood up against that king. Hey, Forky Knight. You're new here? Are you new to streaming? I mean, am I the first streamer you've ever watched? You know that streamers don't just do one thing, right? Not all the time. I have a life outside of what I do on stream. You know I'm a writer, right? Okay. I'm gonna go. I got stuff to do off stream. I need to like focus clearly enough. Not everything can be done publicly. There's things that need to be done with the door closed. Stephen King's words. Not everything can be done with the door open. Like right now, the door's open. I mean, literally the door's closed. And the other door's closed. Like, literally the doors are closed. But it's like a figurative thing, right? Like... Like, there's certain things you need to close the door for. Like, right now the door's open because I'm on stream. But there's certain things that you need to work on off stream. And they're so nuanced that it's not even worth talking about. Sometimes you need to go poop. Thanks for stopping by. It was a very short stream. We played some chess puzzles. But, yeah. Bye-bye.